All right. Let's do K-pop Demon Hunters first. Let's
Sure.
go ahead and knock that off. Um, movie's awful. It sucks. It's terrible. It's bad. The music sucks. It's horrible. It's not worth your time. All right. So SummerSlam.
I trust you're being slightly facetious. I don't get the feeling that you were blown away by it, but I
No,
also don't get the feeling that was your opinion.
no, not at all. I mean, it's your standard kids movie. It doesn't really like push the envelope in any way, shape, or form. It's it's okay. It's not terrible. It's not bad, but it's not anything that I would actively go out of my way to watch multiple times. Um, I'm approaching this from the aspect of someone who doesn't particularly listen to K-pop music. There's a few songs here and there that I like, but it's not particularly my go-to style. In terms of watching the movie objectively, just as a movie, um, it's mildly predictable. I think there's a twist that you find out relatively early into the movie, maybe at like 30 minutes in, and you're like, okay, I can kind of see how this is gonna go, and then this is gonna happen, and it is pretty formulaic, all things considered. But that's not a knock against the movie. It's just we've been watching movies for forever, so you can just kind of see how all of it goes. In terms of the music, which is like the biggest draw, it's one of the number one movies on Netflix right now, if not the number one. And a lot of people who talk about the music that's associated with it, some of the artists that are associated with it. Um, I don't think the music was really all that bad. Like I said, I'm not someone who particularly likes a bunch of K-pop music. Um, the main song that everybody is hot for, which I think is called Golden.
You got me.
I was like, that's cool. I have a coworker that sings K-pop Demon Hunters music all the time, specifically Takedown. So it's not like once I heard it in the movie, I was like, oh, okay, that's what's happening. Um, I think the song, if I had to pick one that I liked the most, was the one that the antagonists were singing right before the big finale.
That unsettled me.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know if it was in a good way. But for me to expound on that, I'd have to take this conversation in a direction I'm not particularly interested in having on on air. I'd rather have that personally, just because it's less subjective. It's more about it's more more has to do with my personal faith, and I don't want to knock the movie because it doesn't vibe with the religion that I personally follow. You know what I mean? So that's not really a criticism against the movie. It's just there are reasons that particular part of the movie really had me a little unnerved. So I'll just say that it unsettled me.
sure, sure. But overall, those are my thoughts. Okay, solid movie. Admittedly, the animation was really good. It's the same team that worked on the Spider-Verse movies in that section of Sony. So in terms of like the visuals, the animation, absolutely gorgeous. Those people never miss. There were a few moments just like in terms of really trying to capture the cartoony nature of certain aspects of Asian culture, where it's like, okay, yeah, I can see this in anime, or I can see this in like Korean dramas or webtoons or things like that. It worked well translating it from inspiration to on screen. So I thought that was well, but overall it was all right.
So I wonder personally how much of the cultural divide is affecting how I see the movie, because I don't watch a lot of anime. I don't think I've seen a single Korean drama. Um, and I definitely don't listen to K-pop. I'm not. There's no like protests here or anything like that. It's not in my orbit. I've never really been an anime guy. I guess that's the closest to something I actively choose not to do. I don't like to engage with a whole lot of anime, not for any, I think, controversial reasons. It just doesn't particularly interest me. So it felt like I was watching anime. So I was like, okay, this is not my vibe. There's really not a way for it to be my vibe, because the style is what the style is, and it's just it's like what the example I always use is a chef who makes a exquisite mushroom dish, but you don't like mushrooms. So like it really doesn't matter what you do to this. I don't like the taste of mushroom. So I'm not really going to like it. I can appreciate its quality. I don't have to call it bad or anything like that. I don't think the movie's bad, just like you. Um, I don't know if you could tell how much I was trying not to be that guy that I usually am, where I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here and crap on it the entire time. And I don't mean in terms of quality. I poke fun at stuff just to have fun. But I got the feeling that she really wanted us to watch that, so I decided to tone that down. So I didn't really have a whole lot to say in the absence of that because I was just I'm along for the ride. I will say the singers, they got some pipes.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, they can sing. I don't know any of the actors' names. I really don't hardly remember the character names, to be honest. I think Rumi is the main one.
Yeah, that's the only one I remember.
Word.
Rumi, the Han Moon, which is like the thing that they're trying to save, and that's about it.
Yeah. I do like the premise. It actually took me back to, there's a One Piece movie, and I don't remember which one it is. My brother, he loves One Piece. I can't do it. I don't care how you pitch it. I'm not watching 900 episodes of anything.
It's more than that now.
Yeah, fair. But when they get theatrical movies, he'll invite me to go see that. And unless he just hasn't invited me since then, I think the last one, they were on some kind of island, and there was like this girl who like had musical powers, manifested in that kind of way. Like the notes and whatnot would be physical manifestations, or I think that's what I remember. And that was a okay movie too, and it gave me a lot of those similar vibes where it took music and gave it this physical power, and you were doing it like that. And I think it was a nice way to make it a musical, like while simultaneously playing into musical tropes while also not necessarily giving into the musical tropes, because there's actually a practical reason why the music is happening. So I think that was cool. I liked watching the action sequences because, as you said, like the style or not, the animation team knows what they're doing, and it looked cool. I love a good sword fight. That's just me. I like the group's cohesion. You got the feeling that these were really good friends. I haven't decided, actually. I was about to say I wasn't a fan of, but I actually haven't decided. Am I a fan of when the reveal happens, how quickly the dynamic falls apart? Like, am I praising the conviction, or am I calling bogus on this relationship I think is stronger than this, so it doesn't read as real? I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, for some context, without giving too much away, although it's been out for weeks now, there's a moment where the thing that we find out at the beginning is no longer a secret, and it becomes public, and there's some turmoil within the friend group, given what the secret is and kind of how it impacts effectively their lives, if not just their jobs.
Yeah. So I just remembered I'm torn between, I like that we have a hard line against whatever. You did that, which means you have crossed that line, and so we're done. There's a part of me that admires that because they weren't making excuses. But then there's the other part of me that is like, narratively, you've told me these guys are such great friends. These gals are such great friends. Would that friend group really turn on a dime like that? I can see an argument for both. I can genuinely see an argument for both. So the breakdown happens a little too late in the movie for my taste. But and I don't like to use this rationale, but sometimes it just is the truth. It's clear this movie is not, like, I'm not this movie's target demographic. It's not made for me. And I can see part of the demographic it is made for. She loved it. And if you're appealing to the people you're trying to appeal to, then clearly you're doing whatever job you set out to do well. So I'll just leave it at it. I'm just glad it wasn't so specifically tailored to whatever that demographic is that it's alienating. Like, if I'm gonna have to watch it, I want to at least somewhat enjoy it. And I think if I'm being honest, I a little more than somewhat enjoyed it. I'm like you. I'm not gonna go home and watch it. Like I don't think given unless I walk in the room and she's got it on, I don't think I'm ever gonna sit down and watch it again. I'll listen to Golden. I actually do like that song, but I don't regret the hour and some change I spent watching it. Um, Time well spent. Could have been spent on something better.
Like Sisu.